All right, so I wanted to share this story on a gentleman by the name of Kevin Robinson. He is a 40-year-old man who went from poverty to millionaire. He's discussing the FIRE concept, financial independence, retire early. I thought I'd share this with you all. Y'all let me know what y'all think, all right? This is another inspiration, should be another inspirational video, seeing someone that looks like us, get into it and get into it early, all right? So y'all let me know what y'all think. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
My name is KR. I grew up in Philadelphia in deep poverty, had 6 siblings in the same household, single parent house, went to public schools, worked my butt off, got a scholarship, worked on Wall Street, went from having a negative net worth to being worth several $million. I was able to grow my real estate business from 1 unit to 105 units, and I retired from my job in 2020. I'm a very frugal person, and I've always been this way. And I love routines, and I love to buy in bulk. When the tuna fish is on sale, I buy it in bulk. When the oatmeal's on sale, I buy a lot of them. My favorite snack, instead of real ice cream, I eat grapes, maybe like 8 or 10 of them at night. You'll save money, and it's healthy. My family think that I'm just cheap as hell. They say, you're just cheap. Go buy some damn real ice cream.
Just wanted to take a look at this $15 gym. What must be like Planet Fitness or something. Yeah, this all looks pretty decent to me. Student loans, $1,200. Well, he's got millions of dollars. I don't know why he doesn't pay him off though. I don't know why he doesn't pay him off. I forgot where did he say he was from? I missed it. Oh, the Bronx. Oh, so he's doing real good. $1,500, well, for a studio, but rent $1,500, and his bills are just about $4,000 a month. Living in New York, that's pretty good.
I am so used to taking the bus everywhere. I'll go down to Philadelphia, catch a mega bus, I'll catch the Chinatown bus. I actually shop for the lowest price. Those little things start to add up for me, and it has been very good in terms of building my net worth. No one in my family was financially literate. What happened is I was motivated at 13 and 14 years old because I noticed that my mother struggled with money, and also our local church was always raising money for the building. So I said, I'm going to immerse myself in books on finance and also on money management and real estate. So every weekend I would go to the bookstore and just read a lot of books. And then when I went to college, every summer I had an internship on Wall Street, which educated me. Wealth management, sales and trading, investment banking. And then I went to go work for an investment bank and then got a real estate license so I could even have more knowledge. I remember like 13 and 14, we lived on 40th and Lancaster, and I will walk from there and go to the bookstore, and I made that into my own rec center where I would read various books just for hours, and then I would say, I'm gonna master this material. No one's gonna know more than me. I've read this book, I've read this book, I read this book. I would come here when I was like in 8th grade, middle school, and high school, when some of my friends would be playing sports on the weekend when I wasn't at work. You read the book for free, sit down, put it back. So when I come back, I always reminisce about all those good memories. But this is where it all started. We moved around so much, probably like 10 times. I was like, man, it looks like the landlord has all this power. He can decide who lives and who stays in his property. I said, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna become that homeless person or that teenage dad? Or am I gonna become the landlord or the business owner? And I decided to become the landlord, the business owner from a very young age. I knew that that's what I wanted to become.
So now some people may disagree with me on this one. A lot of financial gurus would agree with what he did here. I disagree with this. Um, I disagree with. I mean, he won because he won in real estate, and so he probably has the money to pay it off. But you know, they talk about how it's actually better for him to keep his money reinvested. He can take the interest off of the money that he has invested and pay off the student loans over time. I get that, right? Um, but I think this is a risky thing to um, teach people to do, and that is um, take your money and put it into something that's still relatively risky instead of paying off your student loans. I personally would coach people to get your finances cleaned up first before you go start taking out financial risks like investing in real estate. Because for all he knew, he could have put his money in real estate and the market could have tanked, and then he would have not only had student loans, but he would have had real estate debt. Again, it worked out for him. Good for him. Um, but this, to me, this is dangerous. Um, this is a dangerous game that I see on like social media and a lot of self help uh, channels, really telling people like don't pay off your debt. Instead, invest it into a business, invest in real estate, invest in this, invest in that, and that's dangerous. I think most people find that they get washed out when doing that because whatever venture that they thought that was going to be their ticket into paying off their debt later ends up being more risky, more expensive, and cost them more. And then they look up and it's been 2, 3, 5, 10 years, and they still have this big load of debt and nothing to show for it. So definitely, like I said, he won, and a lot of people do win, but most people don't. Most people take the risk, lose, and then now they're way worse off. So I have to disagree with this part for sure.
I decided to buy in Cobbs Creek because, one, I knew the neighborhood, so I did all this analysis, and then I had a multifamily approach, but I couldn't afford a multifamily at the time. So I said I want to buy these single-family rental homes with 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, close to each other, so I can leverage my resources. So my team, they will spend less money on gas. The contractors will be able to use the same tools to work on various houses, and I don't have to do all analysis over again. So I own I have 3 properties within a 2-block radius. Then I bought 7 blocks that way. You have 2 properties right next to each other. Then I have 1 property on Walton
That's
Avenue.
smart.
So all these properties are very close so that I can also present the same amenities in this neighborhood.
I like that.
Because I started with 1 unit, I was able to really master the whole process. I was pretty much the GC, and I also was the property manager, and so I got to see all facets and put my family members involved in this situation as well, where they learn about real estate. So now I have a property management business where my stepmom and my brother are involved, where we do the landscaping, we vet the tenants. If you interview with us that you want to live in our properties, we also have to go to your property and have an interview with you before you move into our units. Growing up, I
I
noticed
think
that
that's
there was
smart too. Vetting your vetting your tenants before they come, because you can pull up to your tenants and see they didn't tore up somebody else's house and they don't know how to live and they got all sorts of other things going on. Think that's really smart. I think that's really smart. I've never seen it, heard of it, or thought about that in real estate.
growing up, I noticed that there was a disparity in terms of like wealth between my family members and when I went off to Bowdoin College. A lot of the kids, white kids primarily, were really well off. And I would go home and we didn't have a lot of resources. So I started to say, how can I create transformational wealth? And what I mean by that is I wanted to create wealth within my community today. So I convinced my brother to get a real estate license. He went out and got that. He got a 3% commission off a $1 million deal. He was able to buy his first house. Then he was able to help his in-laws, a black family, be able to buy a duplex. So now we have transformational wealth taking place today, not necessarily 50 years now,
That's
but
dope.
we're also going to have generational wealth. But for me, that inspired my nieces and my nephews, my loved ones and my friends and my community, that if this small family can do it, you can do it. Do the honors. So this one is just got renovated.
Yeah, one of the guys just finished this up.
Oh, it looks good. Looks like they did a good job.
It was real rough. I mean, it was days that, your stomach was hurting because you barely ate. And now, my children, I have 5 children now, and they get to enjoy the world. They travel, they've been to different countries, and we have the financial freedom that we always dreamed of.
My other brother helps with the landscaping. My aunt, she cleans the apartments. It's just exciting because some people say don't work with your family. I beg to differ because you always give strangers multiple chances to be successful. I think you should take a chance and a risk on your own loved ones. Right now, I'm so excited because I'm at a point in my life where I have financial independence. Christian, we want to get the... I retired from my 9-to-5 on August 31st, 2020, and now I work, but I do not work nearly as hard as I used to in terms of physical labor, running to the job, reporting to someone. I was able to amass a lot of real estate, then also invest several $100,000 into stocks. And I use this so that I can always have that big cash reserve and multiple streams of income to live the life that I want and also have a larger impact on society.
Well, that was a poorly placed ad by Marker Wash. They put it right all over his face. Like, I don't know why they did that. Um, but yeah, no, I think this was a great example of how to be an inspiration to your family, loved ones, community. Um, I like that. I do like that he's able to work with his family. Um, I too have read and heard that, that saying of like, don't do business with family. Um, I tend to agree with that more, just simply because, kind of like he said, you give strangers a chance, and that's cool, right? You give strangers a chance, an opportunity, and a lot of people don't give their family that chance and opportunity. I think you could do both without having to uh, pull your family into your day to day, your friends and family into your day to day like critical operations, because when someone messes up that you don't know, that you don't have ties to, you fire them, right? You fire them, you don't have to deal with them anymore. If your family messes up, what depending on who you are, like I'm the type, if I were to bring my family into the business and they mess up, I am likely going to give them several chances, right? And in business, you can't really do that, right? Maybe one chance, but mistakes can be expensive, right? And I personally just don't want to have that type of relationship with a family member where they may do something that costs me a whole bunch of money, or I may make a business decision or a decision that affects them in a certain way, and now our dynamic is strained, right? And so to me, it's just not worth it. I would rather be working on something and inspire my family to do the same by giving them the tools necessary to do it themselves, invest in them, um, uh, you know, give them the roadmap that I took, without inviting them into mine, and creating that dynamic of a of a employee employer relationship. Because then, again, you go to family gatherings, you go to Thanksgiving, and just a different situation, right? I mean, how many? I don't know too many people that would enjoy going to uh, a Thanksgiving with their boss, right? With their employer, right? Whether that be family or not. So, me personally, I wouldn't recommend. I still wouldn't recommend it. I'm glad. Again, I'm glad this is something that works for him. I wouldn't recommend that to be something to do. Um, but outside of that, I mean, it, this is also. I think this is also an example of someone who was educated early on. I think. Yeah, he said he was interested in it himself. I believe is what he was saying. He ended up doing other things and getting into other things, but getting educated on just the world of finance early on. And this is the product that you get. You get someone who is successful uh, in finance and real estate and all things money. Right. Not only that, uh, he has reshaped his family dynamic around finance because, like he mentioned earlier in the video, his family growing up knew nothing about finance and budgeting and money, and so um, now everyone in his family, his brothers, his aunt, his nieces and nephews, they all have an example of how to move with your finances. So I think that is an excellent example of basically reshaping your family tree. And so from him, with all of the people that he at least mentioned in the video that he's connected to and are a part of his business world, there's got to be more success stories growing out of those. Whether it be again his nieces and nephews, brothers, aunts, right, and just the people that they are also affecting it within that family, right? So uh, he definitely made a huge shift, a huge change, and I think that's dope. Let's give him a round of applause. But yeah, I hope this video inspires y'all. I hope you learned something. I definitely did. Again, I like that. I like the idea of before renting property out, go and meet with the people that you're going to rent to, and see how they live currently. Right, get an idea of who you're inviting into your property, into your space. That was the biggest thing I learned from this, and this was dope. All right, so definitely y'all let me know what y'all think. Um, again, this guy's name is something William Robinson. Kevin Robinson. His brand is KR right here, KAYR. Um, and yeah, y'all check him out. Y'all check out his brand, and y'all let me know what y'all think. All right, it's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.